October 19th, 1856, the Surrey Gardens Music Hall in London is packed past the breaking point. Nearly 12,000 people have crammed inside and thousands more press against the doors outside, all to hear a 22-year-old preacher named Charles Spurgeon. He is barely opened in prayer when someone in the gallery screams one word: fire. There is no fire. But the panic is real. The crowd stampedes for the exits, and in the crush, 7 people are trampled to death. Dozens more are injured, and young Spurgeon, already the most famous preacher in England, is carried from the platform in a state of collapse, broken in a way that will follow him to his grave. Welcome to Lift Up Your Day, a 5-minute devotional, short stories with a biblical heartbeat. I'm Rodney, and today, the secret sorrow of the greatest preacher of his age, and the hope he found in the dark. We remember Charles Spurgeon as a prince of preachers, 6,000 people every Sunday, sermons still in print more than a century later, a booming voice and a faith that looked like solid granite. What we forget is that he was a man well acquainted with grief. That night at Surrey Gardens never left him. For the rest of his life, the memory of those 7 deaths could rise up and crush him without warning. He battled what he plainly called depression. He did not dress it up. He did not hide it with a holy face. He said once there are dungeons beneath the castle of despair, and that he had been in them. He had reasons on the surface. He carried gout that twisted his body in pain. He carried the weight of a massive church, an orphanage, a college, and the constant attacks of critics. But Spurgeon was honest enough to admit that sometimes the sadness came with no reason at all. He called it a causeless depression, a heaviness that settled on him like fog that would not lift. Here is what makes him worth hearing. He never pretended he had preached it away. A man who moved thousands with words could not always move his own soul out of the shadows, and he refused to lie about it. Instead, he learned to preach to himself. He would take the words of Psalm 42 and say them over his heart. Why are you cast down, O my soul? Why are you disquieted within me? Hope in God. He did not wait to feel hope before he spoke it. He spoke it until it came. Now please hear me. If you're a believer who struggles with a sadness you cannot explain, I want you to really hear this clearly. You're in good company. The man who may have loved Jesus more visibly than anyone else in his century still wept in the dark. Your faith is not failing because your feelings are heavy. Spurgeon would tell you that the same God who is real on the bright days is just as real on the gray ones. Listen to how the psalmist talks to himself in Psalm 42:11. Why are you cast down, O my soul, and why are you disquieted within me? Hope in God, for I shall yet praise him. Notice he's not waiting for the feeling. He's preaching to the feeling. He's reminding his own soul what is still true. And you and I can do the same. When the fog rolls in, you do not have to lie and say it's not there. You can look at it honestly and still say, I will yet praise him. And that, friend, is how God lifts up your day.